So I have several times heard from you that India is not a startup nation, but that it is a starting up nation. And we are still learning. And as a student of law and also as a student of science, we all believe that learning continues in life. So what are the learnings so far, and what can we do that we really become a startup nation like an Israel is?
First of all, the ability to take risks. They look at FAIL, FAIL, as first attempt in learning, FAIL. Your best guru, they say, is your last mistake. You learn from it. Second is uh, talent, technology, and trust is the tripod. We have plenty of talent, we have technology, but there has to be a trust. Also, we have to give the startups a head start. You think it is like this, you put a tender for a government order. First thing they will ask you is the experience. It is almost like Sachin Tendulkar, who made a century at the age of 15 in his first appearance in Ranji Trophy. But rather than taking him in the test, they would say, "But do you have 10 years experience?" To a 15-year-old. So it is something like that, startup. So you have to give them a chance.
Let's move towards the Indian innovation ecosystem as such. How do you compare it with the rest of the world, and where are we ahead of the rest of the world, and where are we behind? Now, just to give you a little on this is, I understand that there is a global innovation index where India has entered the top 50 and positioned itself at number 48. That's good news. But we have seen that during the past 10 years, China has risen very rapidly to number 22 position. Why could we not accelerate the way that they did it? I mean, I'm not comparing ourselves with China, but generally, what do we need to do so that Indian innovation ecosystem will be ranked among the top 10 in the world? We need to build that ecosystem. And who else other than you can comment upon this?
No, I totally agree with you. I think let me give a perspective. Global Innovation Index started a more than a decade ago, and I have been on its international advisory board right from the start. Okay, and we are keeping on improving the Global Innovation Index over a period of time. Now, what happens in Global Innovation Index is that you measure things which can be measured by secondary data sources and so on and so forth, etc. But there are certain things you can't measure, so they are not counted. If you look at, let's say, what is now called as frugal innovation,
Yes.
you can call it affordable excellence, or I had coined the term Gandhian engineering, getting more from less for more. They all mean that you are looking at affordable excellence. All right. That means normally affordability and excellence don't go together. You say what is affordable can't be excellent, what is excellent can't be affordable. But India is capable of doing affordable excellence.
I
10
see.
times better, but 10 times cheaper. Take Mars Orbiter mission, for example. We became the first nation, basically, to be successful in the very first effort. Not US, not China. And we did it at a cost, which was just $74 million, which was 10 times less than US. And yet, both of us, our Mars Orbiter mission, Mangalyaan was circling sort of. So this ability to deliver excellence at a very low cost
Low cost.
is our specialty. Unfortunately, that doesn't get counted in Global Innovation Index. Oh, China has surged way ahead because of their investments in science and technology, their commitment. You know, our investments have remained as a percentage of GDP, although in actual terms they have increased, almost the same as they were 20 years ago, whereas they have zoomed up dramatically. So lots of these things will have to be done in order to sort of lift these indicators. But doing innovation in the Indian way, particularly belonging to the affordable excellence, we are absolutely at the top.